this week's episode of TBBBAP.
Two best brothers bitch about ponies.
I'm Keg Standard.
And I'm Phantom Horn, and this week's episode was Trade, yeah?
Okay, so this episode I liked, but I got a lot of nitpicks. I'm gonna nitpick the shit out of this episode.
I think you're right. Overall, it was good.
Yeah.
It was not without its dumb bullshit.
Oh, it had a lot of that.
But I was never bored.
Yeah, you know, I liked it. I just have a lot of things to say about it that
I was entertained the whole way through. You know, it didn't have, like, it wasn't, like, laugh out loud funny.
Yeah.
Its character humor wasn't, like, something
was, like,
to write
fine,
home about.
yeah.
But it had enough of everything. And stuff was going on.
I think the writer at least had a general grasp of the characters, so good job on that, Scott.
But you know what? The structure of this episode, how it was segmented into 3 little separate stories for the different groups of characters, I really liked that. I thought it paid off really well in this episode, and I wouldn't mind seeing more episodes like that. I think it's a good direction for the show to go in.
I worry about characterization in those kind of situations, but I guess it could be good.
I think splitting it up gives more ability to focus on individual characters, just, for smaller portions of the episode.
So one of the things I really did like going on this episode was the focus on Twilight as a real princess doing real princess things.
I mean, sure it's good.
No, it was awesome.
Sure it's good.
Dude, the end of the episode, which is up on the thing, being all princessy.
What do you want do they want a medal? That they didn't fuck that up?
Yeah, that's exactly what I want, because it's so nice to see them not fuck it up for once. I actually am calling it a positive.
How is this for a medal? I'm not gonna complain that they were shit about it. That's all they get from me.
Phantom, I know I've told you how much I hate that they don't do it, so when I see they do it, I gotta say something. It was good.
Whoop-de friggin' do.
I did detect a little bullshit, though. I felt when Applejack said that line, a princess here on official business has to expect a little fussing, I feel like that line was there to explain why people hadn't reacted strongly to Princess Twilight, because now she's here on official princess business, so now this is why everyone's reacting. It's okay that they didn't before, guys.
I guess, I don't know, it just seemed kind of redundant to me. Like, they'd already said she's there on official princess business.
Yeah.
But then I guess we might have forgotten during the opening song,
I guess so. I don't know. So this episode was all about, like, trading and wheeling and dealing and stuff, and did you get the same vibe as me about, like, the Zelda-style fetch quest with Rainbow Dash going on? I thought that was kind of cool.
It's kind of like in Ocarina of Time, when you gotta trade and trade and trade to get the big Goron sword.
Yeah, exactly like that. I feel like that's what they were going for.
I feel like this kind of story is probably much older than that.
Well, I guess you're probably right. That's just the one that stands out to me.
I mean, it is kind of a... I'll generously call it tried and true. But it worked. They kept it fresh. How, they trade for the chalice, but then I didn't expect it to break.
Yeah, me neither.
And then I definitely didn't expect the guy to, like, want it just to break it.
That was funny. That was good.
That was maybe the highlight of the episode, actually.
But, I felt some of the scenes in there were...
that end when Fluttershy tries to defend the chickens, and she's like, don't trade for that. Unless you really want to. That was good.
Actually, that whole scene with the chickens thing, like where Rainbow's like, okay, I'm gonna go do this, you do this, and then Fluttershy does that, I felt like that whole scene was unnecessary. I don't know.
But it gave way to a funny joke that made me smile.
Well, I guess. I don't know. It didn't do it for me. Whatever. Okay, I know it's what they were going for, but was it just me, or was what Applejack and Rarity wanted, what they were trading for, was just stupid bullshit?
I
know that was the point. That
is the point. You could be like, oh, I know this is a completely dumb thing to even bring up, but what about this thing? What's your point? What's your point, Keg?
Is that it was stupid, and I don't...
No.
I wouldn't have done that, is my point.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
great. No, listen. It's stupid, yeah, but... Can you not believe that Applejack would be extremely interested in this thing that gives a very marginal practical benefit to her job? And Rarity would be extremely interested in this silly and frivolous thing that she holds like a slight aesthetic value in? I could totally see it.
I could believe Rarity's, but I had a difficult time believing in Applejack's. Like, 5 seconds shaved off.
Okay.
That's not practical.
I'll grant you this small concession.
Yeah.
I can see Applejack being interested in shaving 5 seconds off of pie baking.
Yeah.
What I have a hard time believing is that such a pie tin could exist.
Okay, but what about, like, trading all of her and all of Rarity's stuff to save 5 seconds on her pie baking time? That just seems dumb to me. I don't...
What if she bakes like 1,000 pies a day? Which
Frankly,
honestly, she probably does. That adds up to like a year saved off of her life.
I guess you're right.
Hey, what about that dude in the steampunk wheelchair?
Oh, I didn't like him. I didn't like him one bit.
Why?
Actually, okay.
Why?
Actually, you know
Why?
what? It was cool to see a wheelchair for a pony. I thought that was cool.
I liked how no one really gave a shit that he's disabled, just like Flight to the Finish.
Yeah, that was cool. That was cool.
It just kind of furthers the thing, like, in Ponyland, if you can't walk, it's whatever.
It's fine. Okay, but I didn't like his hair color. I thought he looked, like, stupid. It clashed, and his voice was dumb.
Whatever. There's plenty of weird-looking ponies. You know, I don't think you'd be even saying that if he wasn't in the wheelchair.
That's not true.
I think he was just too special, and so you're like, oh, weird, it's weird.
It was weird.
Something's bad.
His hair sucked.
Nah, he was fine. But, makes me wonder, do you think he can fly?
Well...
He can't walk.
No, I mean, he'd be weighed down by that thing.
But, feeling Pinky Keen... Fluttershy is flying with that cart full of frogs, and she can just, like...
That was just, like, a weird animation thing. It does make sense.
What you call an animation error, I'm gonna call Pegasus Magic. Tomato.
So, we should mention that I thought it was pretty cool to see Spike doing his comic book trading in the background. I thought that was a cool subplot.
Well... It was nice that he was included. I think calling it a subplot is pretty generous. It's about as bare bones as you can get.
It was as much a plot as any of the main characters doing their trades.
No, it was not. He starts out, he's like, I'm going to trade for a comic book. Later on, he trades for a comic book.
Phantom.
Wow,
Rarity.
Such character development.
Rarity wants to trade for a brooch. At the end, she gets a brooch. Oh my god, nothing happened.
There's a conflict with Applejack.
Yeah, there's a conflict with Spike. He's making the deal the whole episode. You can see it happening.
Are you trolling me? Am I being trolled?
Whatever. You know, to me, the star of this episode was Fluttershy. Fluttershy was a goddamn champ for this entire episode, just doing whatever she could to make Rainbow's life easier. She gave up the bear call, and she could have just, like, gone back a second to get it, but she was like, no, gotta help Rainbow. She was willing to move to Manhattan for months to train this guy just to help out Rainbow to get this fucking book.
I agree with you. The ending, okay, the end when there's the morals.
Yeah.
You got Applejack and Rarity being like, we did these nice things for each other.
Yep.
Honestly, that was my favorite arc.
Oh, really?
My favorite ending part was Rarity and Applejack. I thought they had, like, the cutest resolution and the funniest.
Okay.
But then Rainbow Dash comes in and he's like, you did something nice for a friend, and that's what counts. I should know. As though she's the hero of her story.
No.
She's the fucking villain of this story, and Fluttershy is the hero.
She winked at Fluttershy, clearly indicating that, like, Fluttershy is the one who did it, and I experienced her kindness.
Okay.
You could interpret it your way, but
I hope you're right.
Yeah.
I hope for the sake of Rainbow Dash's soul that you are right. Speaking of that, though, why was it up to Twilight to decide whether this deal could go through? Does Fluttershy lack the agency to be like, wait a minute, I don't want to perform this service for you?
Dude.
What is she, fucking chattel? Is she a slave?
Fluttershy was willing to do it.
Yeah, but then once Rainbow was like, actually, I don't want to make the trade, was Fluttershy suddenly disenfranchised from saying, never mind, the deal's off, I am no longer willing to render this service for you?
They had a verbal contract. That's all it comes down to.
You're allowed to fucking terminate a verbal contract.
Not without consequences.
No, Rainbow Dash is not entitled to sell her as an indentured servant.
You are such a spurglord. They made a deal. That's it. That's it.
She can back out. You don't need a princess to jump in for that shit.
I think it's clear that you do.
You are a Nazi.
Now, let's talk about one of my gripes real quick. So, Twilight's moral, right? Twilight's moral was that she comes to realize through Pinkie Pie's intervention that these books actually do have value to her.
Yes.
And she doesn't want to trade them.
Yes, it is.
Okay, first of all, that's bullshit. Why did she not know that she liked these books before trading them? That's something that you would think about as you're trading something. I guess she just got swept up in wanting to get rid of them.
I agree.
But she wanted them, so
I agree.
What
the
fuck?
Ending of her arc kind of is like, never mind.
Yeah.
I actually should never get rid of things I don't need anymore.
That's the biggest problem. So what? She needs to make space because her library is too full. What, is she never going to get rid of anything now?
She comes
That's
in
retarded.
like, I'm willing to get rid of these books literally for nothing because I just need them gone.
And
but then at the end, because Pinkie talked them up so much, she's
Yeah.
like, actually, these are precious to me. I could never give them up.
Stupid.
Thank you, Pinkie, for doing this awful thing you did to show me the error of my ways.
So stupid. So, I've got one more point to make. At the end, let's take a look at what everyone comes away with, shall we? Applejack gets a shitty pie tin she already has a million of. Rarity ends up with a brooch that she literally already has several of. Rainbow Dash gets an old copy of the book she wanted that she already owns.
They also got the memories, their great
shit.
Memories from the thing.
Everyone fucked up their trades except the people who didn't trade and Spike, who was just looking out for number one. Keep it strong, my brother.
And Fluttershy, which... By the way,
was the focus of everyone's goodwill.
I must not have been paying attention because I didn't really get it my first time through. I think I wasn't paying attention at the beginning when she says she wants to trade the bear call for the bird call. But on my second watch,
did she?
Yeah. But on my second watch, seeing that in the end no one really gets what they want, but she, who's willing to sacrifice everything, in the end Rainbow Dash trades the Orthos for the bird call, which is what Fluttershy wanted all along. I really liked it.
You know, even though I'm not big into this whole giving shit away for nothing thing, that is actually pretty nice. I like that.
So overall, this episode had bullshit morals, some bullshit moments, but I don't care because I was thoroughly entertained. It never got boring. So overall, I give it 5 seconds off my baking time.
And I give it all the stuff they got in those trades out of all the stuff they lost in those trades, which is to say, a very shitty score.
That's gonna do it for this week's TBBAP.
I'm Cake Standard.
And I'm Phantom Horn.
See you next time.
And I'm Phantom Horn.